Are you curious, family? Over the last several months, God has asked me to be more curious. I believe that curious is my word for 2024. Instead of simply being content, complacent, or God forbid, indifferent, I feel the Spirit commissioning me to be eager, to learn, to explore, to be speculative. And I'm excited because I believe that this has been confirmed over and over again in several spaces. But let me just take you back to how it began. The more I spend time teaching our children and young people, the more I realize that my faith blossoms whenever I search out the scriptures. I can recall that during my teenage years, I searched the scriptures to prove others wrong. I grew up in a pretty strict denomination that seemed to forbid almost everything. So I searched the scriptures to understand why there were so many no's. If I'm honest, since then, I haven't searched the scriptures with the same gusto because I'm not trying to prove others wrong. But I am in a season where God is asking me to prove to myself why I choose to serve, why I worship and live the way I do. Some may say that God is calling me back to the heart of worship. Today I came across Proverbs 25:2. It is the glory of God to conceal things, but the glory of kings is to search things out. The chapter title preceding the scripture reads, Further Wisdom Sayings of Solomon. We know that Solomon was a king who followed God. He built the temple and was the last king of a unified Israel before it was separated into the northern and southern kingdom. Knowing that Solomon was a king that followed God allows us to interpret this verse. As a king under God who pursued righteousness and justice, Solomon was one who knew that to govern God's people, he had to make well thought out decisions. Thus, for Solomon, to search things out was a state of holy curiosity. King Solomon is reminding us in this short but wise saying that if God conceals things and kings, with the little k, you and I, search things out, then the king must turn to God. For God concealed it with a reason. Isn't that a good word, Bethel? You and I are a part of a royal priesthood. If God is calling us to be curious, not only must we be open to exploration and learning, but we must be ready to turn to God. We must spend time at God's feet in worship and in wonder, knowing that the God who creates and conceals wants us to come to know and to be known. If you feel as though you don't know right now, that's okay. Be curious and go to God. Bethel, in 2024, I encourage you to be like a child and begin to explore with God as your guide. On Instagram, I follow Black Liturgies, which is a project by New York Times bestseller Cole Arthur Riley. And pretty consistently, the account shares a reflection paired with a deep breathing contemplation. Let me share one with you. Inhale, I am free to know. Exhale, God, stay close as I wonder.